After 2 days, 20 hours and 18 minutes, it's finally here. The Titan Hand is finally here. Dude, are you serious? Yeah, so that was me and probably most of you after Epic decided to troll us all, or did they? The biggest build-up event of Season 2 just didn't feel like happening, so is the season ruined? Well, no, of course it isn't. This whole issue was caused by data miners, not Epic. And although I don't blame them for getting the times wrong, that was the cause of everyone being mad. The idea was that the hand would appear on the 46th earthquake, but as it turns out, that was part of Stage 1. Stage 2 involves the crater getting bigger, lava filling the cracks, and the bell bus shaking. And then at the end, we should get the Titan Hand event. A user called Evanosaurus on Twitter or X is actually the whole reason that we know this. The teasers he put out were pretty frustrating to some people, but I don't blame him. It's hard to keep this community tame. Meanwhile, I convinced people that the event happened for me and not them, and it worked pretty well. This user is trying to work on a way for these mini events to not be leaked. That way the same thing can't happen again, and we won't be so spoiled on what's actually going down. Think back to Chapter 1 Season 8 with the vault keys. We didn't know what they were. We didn't know what was under the dirt. We didn't know any of it. And everyone came together to be wholesome and figure it out. And that looks to be happening again. Like, look, I just befriended a superhero skin. That's completely unheard of. Or this guy was being super nice as well, like well, okay, you get the point, right? After the hand event, Pandora's box will be opened as a community, and it will release a tornado of souls as well as some other weather events. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what's happening. And luckily, we don't know what this means. Sure, we can see it happening in leaks, but these souls could be the Seven being freed from the Chrome underworld, or maybe even something to do with the whole Shadow Midas souls thing, or maybe it's nothing to do with that. We don't know. There's still some element of mystery, and I'm really happy about that, because then I can make videos which you guys can watch if you subscribe. I mean, come on, I'm helping you get over that whole hand thing. That definitely deserves for you to just click that button. There you go. Okay, now that that's taken care of, what are these mysteries that are left to be solved in Season 2? Earlier I mentioned Midas, who is heavily teased to be brought back next season. He's got a new outfit style shown on a new Xbox controller. He's got his own game mode, and his weapons were updated, but I'm still not convinced, honestly. We've literally had sprays of him that were relevant to a current season that just didn't mean anything. And people say, but, oh, this time is different. And look, maybe it is, but I don't care. I'll believe this whole thing when I see it in Fortnite. For now, what else does Season 2 have to offer? Well, today Mark Rain released his seasonal word. For those of you who don't know, he always does a one-word teaser every season, which was actually interesting this time. In the past, it's been Save Peely, and I can't remember the other ones, but they were really obvious. But this one is Wings, which makes me think maybe it's to do with Hermes. I'm not too caught up on Greek mythology, but the comments already got mad at me about that, so you don't need to do it again, thanks. Okay, I just checked, yeah, Hermes is the guy with the wings. And a friend of mine, Cyan, also pointed out that you can see these wings on Pandora's box, so maybe that means something? In the orb that this is surrounding, there's also constellations that will appear that show the 8 different Greek gods. Pretty sure we got Cerberus in there, there's Zeus, there's maybe Aphrodite as well. There's a lot coming, and I hope they're all bosses with mythics similar to the style of Chapter 2 Season 4. Not just some reskinned Enforcer AR, I want something actually unique. Which, I mean, surely it has to be. So we have our answer to the title, that the season is not ruined, and we also know all the stuff that's gonna make it awesome, but what about just before that? What about the hand event? When is it actually gonna happen? This is dangerous to say, but I think you should get on somewhere between 1 PM and 3 PM EST on Saturday. If that's wrong, get mad at these guys, not me. I'm not a leaker. Now, on the topic of leaks, it's interesting that Epic employees are trying to minimize them. On one hand, they cause issues like this current one where people get annoyed that the leaks aren't accurate, but if you look at the other side of it, it's actually a great way for Epic to promote and hype up new stuff. We know they intentionally leak things, that's what the survey skins are for. They show us early things to get us excited, and if we like it, they add it into the game. But on the other hand, it does ruin surprises. This situation has been a bit different as surprises have been added over time. We didn't know the cracks would fill with lava, that wasn't leaked. We didn't know the hole would get bigger. As I said before, we don't know what the whole soul thing is for. But if there was a way for people to not see the event before it happened, that would be really good. And for the people that woke up really early or skipped work or skipped school, then I'm sorry, that's kinda your fault. That's super hypocritical for me to say, because here are my DMs right after I woke up early to watch the event. So we're keeping keeping it real on this channel. But my point is, you can't get mad at Epic or the data miners. Sometimes Epic don't want to reveal everything to do with these mini events. They're not meant to be announced or official, and sometimes leakers get stuff wrong, like the Doctor Who collab, or Lady Gaga having an in-game concert. They can't always keep up with Epic's plans, and they do a pretty good job most of the time, so I just appreciate that. As I said here, I was tired, not annoyed, so there's my excuse. Speaking of being tired, the downtime for Season 2 begins on March 8th at 2 AM Eastern Time, so sorry Americans, it's gonna be 6 PM for me, so I'll be wide awake. Something I'm really hoping we get next season, which was done very well this season, is to add a new element of gameplay to Fortnite. And by that I don't just mean like augments or sprinting, and although I do love those, I mean a whole new objective of the game. My favorite season by far is Chapter 2 Season 7 because it added that mothership minigame, or Chapter 2 Season 2 adding the bosses, or this season adding the medallions. It's unique stuff like this that really makes it feel amazing to be playing Fortnite. With the Wings teaser, we could ride these mythical creatures up to the clouds. We could have like a mothership thing where you have to collect stuff, but instead you're at Mount Olympus. There is so much potential here, and I really hope they tap into it. I know this is a lot to expect as well, but I also would think it would be amazing if the Titans actually walked around on the island, kind of like the caretakers from Chapter 2 Season 8. They don't have to be massive, it just has to make the island feel alive. And my last point, especially relating to that, is that the island needs to consistently be updated. Each update, we need something small to show us where things are headed. This season's whole story and theme was good, but it was really densely packed into certain updates. On the season release, we found out about the society and that they kidnapped Peely, and then for the next 3 updates there was nothing, until in the final one, we got the reveal of the Greek mythology season, we got Odyssey in-game, we got the Mosaic quest, we got Valeria's explanation for why she wanted the box, we got why Peely was kidnapped, the fact that he was freed, like so much in one update. Just please, spread it out. Have us find out that Peely was kidnapped, and then the next update, have us find out why. Then 2 weeks later, explain that he's been freed, but there's something else more mysterious going on, and in the final update, explain what that is. This season's story really wasn't bad, it just wasn't spread out enough. So there you have it, that's my wish list for Season 2, why it's not ruined, why it could still be really good, and why I am still staying hopeful. Not for Midas though, I don't think he's coming. I hope you enjoyed this video because it took quite a while to edit. Videos like this aren't stopping either. I'm releasing 7 more after this one that are releasing before my massive project coming out sometime in April, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I'll see you when the Titan head actually shows up.